Coming soon is the Rex Osprey XRP ETF. Over the next few days, I'll tell you all you need to know and what to anticipate. There is a wealth of further information about CME's recent expansion into XRP in its futures. I got some information from Paul Barron and some clips here. Toward the end, we will examine some additional topics related to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's market value is expected to reach $500 trillion. If it were possible, where would that leave XRP? According to Eleanor Tarrant, this week saw the debut of the Rex Osprey XRP ETF. According to what I understand, it's a 40-act wrapper on the spot product that contains cash, treasuries, and some derivatives in addition to actual XRP. It's essentially a spot ETF with frills and more regulation than conventional spot goods. According to Nate Garassi, an ETF insider, Rex Osprey will use the first ETF to give spot XRP exposure when it launches this week. Another solid litmus test for the demand for the 33rd place XRP ETF will be the deft regulatory end around using a 40-act structure to get this to market. The assets of XRP ETFs based on futures are already close to $1 billion. I was just looking for more details. The first exchange-traded fund to be listed in the United States and created to provide regulated spot exposure is the Rex Osprey XRP ETF. The ETF will hold genuine XRP in addition to cash, U.S. Treasuries, and derivatives under the Investment Company Act of 1940. This will give institutional investors direct price exposure to XRP under more stringent regulatory scrutiny than standard spot crypto products. On the CBOE BZX market, the fund will be traded with the ticker XRPR. Since it is registered under the 40 Act, it is subject to independent oversight, comprehensive reporting, and asset diversification requirements that are not necessary for regular spot ETFs. In order to comply with U.S. tax and regulatory requirements, the ETF allocates a minimum of 80% of its assets to XRP and associated securities via a Cayman Islands subsidiary, with the goal of replacing one-to-one price swings of XRP as precisely as possible. Subject to fund fees and operating expenses, it adds to pure XRP holdings by investing in other global XRP ETFs and spot crypto derivatives. Here's some more background information. Did you find this to be interesting? Feel free to read it. Market volatility and regulatory uncertainty are the main dangers, particularly if XRP has ever had a security assessed by U.S. courts. That struck me as odd, didn't I? We're going to have another lawsuit, in case you missed it. I'm not sure. I didn't comprehend that completely. It's essentially stating that this is a topic for debate, as if it might actually occur. The SEC isn't, in my opinion. Do they truly want to endure more humiliation for 3 or 4 years? That part just didn't make sense to me. Since Ripple Labs still owns a sizable portion, there is a risk of centralization. These are merely ETF-related worries, but I do believe this will demonstrate how well-liked this will be. And we'll see if Rex Osprey receives a large number of new customers in order to obtain this. This week, Doge and XRP ETFs will also be available. It ought to be quite thrilling. The founders of EZEA, Phil and Dom Kwok, are featured in this video discussing their tight collaboration with Ripple to introduce developers to the XRP ledger. Come on, let's play. Join forces with the best, usually significant layer ones that we personally support. Ultimately, we take them through a high-level introduction and ask them one-on-one questions such: what is the XRP ledger? Why was it made in the first place? And then demonstrate to them how to use the blockchain to deploy programs. It goes without saying that the XRP ledger lacks smart contracts, yet we still face several difficulties. In fact, we let users create and implement smart contracts using the app. Thus, you may witness the entire building process from start to finish from your smartphone, which is truly revolutionary. And in fact, our engineering team and I were the first in history to implement a mobile smart contract. Check out the app, please. Don't have it yet if you're in the crowd. I am aware that a large number of you look at this. App challenges were completed by 97,000 developers. 97,000 developers. This is the XRP ledger's future development taking place right in front of our eyes. Numerous new opportunities are being made possible by the EVM sidechain, and I believe that people are underestimating how much of an impact this will actually have. At the hackathon, everyone had it. Therefore, if you haven't already, you should definitely download the app as it's a fantastic resource for learning about blockchain. I believe that one of the things Phil and I discovered when we initially entered the field is that it's not always clear why you would want to build on different blockchains. Why would you pick a Solana's XLOP Leisure? Why would you pick Stellar instead of Aptos, Sui, etc.? In the end, why would you pick one piece of technology over another when there are so many amazing ones? And for that reason, we developed the app. As with dating apps, you simply swipe across. Then you can discover which blockchains are the best fit for your needs. I therefore heartily recommend it to everyone. Additionally, they have had great success with the XRP ledger problems. The numbers we have up there are enormous, as you can see. More than 150,000 users have already begun the XRP ledger challenges within the app. And the vast majority of those have actually gone through and finished them. Such amazing figures. Our effect is enormous, and all of our developers come from prestigious universities throughout the globe, including Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge, etc. This serves as a brief overview of the user interface and how it functions. As you can see, it's very easy. I think the program is great. Many users refer to it as Duolingo for blockchain. We're following Duolingo's lead in blockchain language learning. Therefore, we're making it really simple for anyone to begin. Man, I'm curious as to why Jake didn't interview these folks. These guys look like a lot of fun. That interview would have been awesome, in my opinion. The emergence of digital asset treasuries and other crypto access vehicles has only increased the demand for institutional hedging instruments on Solana and XRP, which is why CME Group is launching options on XRP futures. Here is some basic information. To give us the best background, I put this into Perplexity to make things a little bit easier. Institutional exposure and uptake. Since its inception in May 2025, CME, the largest derivatives marketplace in the world, and the XRP futures suite have witnessed quick adoption, with over 370,000 contracts and $16.2 billion in notional value exchanged. By providing options on these futures, institutional clients can now manage risk, hedge exposure, and implement more sophisticated trading techniques in regulated settings. In terms of institutional-grade derivatives, this places XRP in line with flagship assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Discusses market maturity and liquidity. Higher liquidity, trading volumes, and strong price discovery are anticipated outcomes of the launch, which will help institutional and retail markets alike. More market participants can trade and hedge smaller position sizes, high trading volumes, and open interest signals thanks to micro XRP futures, which increase market efficiency and boost confidence among sophisticated investors. There are a lot of exciting things going on at CME. One of their fastest growing goods ever was this one. Up to $1 billion. I'd love to hear it. According to Paul Barron, 25 basis points are essentially set in stone. We will most likely have the latest information on this by the time you watch this video. I concur with him. This is something I've been saying for a while. 25 basis points is most likely the best course of action. 50 might be excessive. Although we'll have to wait and watch what the Fed does, I do believe that when consumers have cheaper access to money, markets will rise. This will be beneficial. It's credit card interest rates and bills, It will benefit mortgages. Car loans will